I'm bringing back the Ultimate Guide series, and this time we're gonna start it up with CERULEDGE, the latest all-rounder that was added to Pokemon Unite, currently one of the best Pokemon in the entire game, and this guide will be mainly about the Psycho Cut build. It's mainly a central area Pokemon. It can also go towards the top and bot path, but definitely where CERULEDGE is shining is in the central area, and it's very good at bursting down enemy Pokemon and also having a great Unite move to just straight up win games. For health items, I run Muscle Bench, Razor Claw, and Scope Lens because we'll be basic attacking quite a lot, in attack rate doesn't seem necessary in Psycho Cut. For battle items, you can either play Jack Button or X Attack. I will show you the reason later on why you can play Jack Button, but X Attack, if you just start playing the Pokemon, is definitely a good choice as it adds a lot of damage towards CERULEDGE. And then for, emblems, either you can go for a crit page, since we also run Scope Lens, whatever you have, something like this, for example, or you just go for a normal brown brown HP page that looks kind of like this with all the minus special attack emblems in it. So we start the game off as our first evolution right here with a Takedown and a Lava Plume, and also the first evolution has a bit of a different boost auto attack. You can see right here it's this orange bar under my HP bar. If we attack it, we do damage around us, and it just builds up back over time. Then we have Lava Plume, which also increases our next basic attack, which also does AoE damage, and then we have Takedown as a dash. So if you want to play CERULEDGE in lane, these are your last hitting tools. You guys want to use everything together if you can. Like, just use all moves together like this or something, and then just try to go for a last hit onto, wild Pokemon. Then on level 5, we evolve to CERULEDGE, and now we have a different boost auto attack. It builds up to 3 times, and this one is also a small dash. It's not even that small, it's actually quite a massive dash, which makes CERULEDGE so good. You can see it flies him from very far away. You can already see that our passive has changed as well. Enemies are burning now. As you see, there's this burning icon stacking up to 6 times. And once they are stacked up to 6 times, every time that they take damage, they also take increased damage from CERULEDGE. Also, there's this fun part about the passive, where if CERULEDGE attacks physical attack-based Pokemon, it gains move speed. So if we attack it right here, we attack it, you can see on the bottom right now, it stacks up to 2 times, where we get an additional move speed bonus. But again, this is just from basic attacking physical attack-based Pokemon. Then on level 7, we also pick our first move, Psycho Cut. We just throw out this wave in front of us, marking our opponents. You can see there's the shield icon, which means they have lower defense stats now. And you can also see that after every single move we use, you can see I'm using Psycho Cut right now, we gain a boost auto attack. And it's going to be one of the most important things you have to pay attention to, similar to Cinder Ace, that you make sure you use your boost auto attacks after every ability. You can see Takedown, boost auto attack, Psycho Cut, boost auto attack. You can see after all of those moves, I will gain a boosted auto attack. And then Psycho Cut's cooldown can also be reset by basic attacking. You can see right now the cooldown is 7, and every time you basic attack, we reduce Psycho Cut's cooldown by 0.5 seconds. And on top of it, Psycho Cut also slows a tiny bit, not too much, but you can see the slow is not all too bad either. And then we have Flame Charge, which kinda was designed for Psycho Cut as it gives us attack speed. It's just a straight up dash that also does damage, and after that we gain attack speed. You can see right now this is our normal attack speed. And then after flame charging, you can see the increase with your own eyes. Clearly, that is much, much faster. Was kind of designed for it. And flame charge, if you enjoy flame charge, it's definitely good. It has 2 charges that you can use with a 1-second cooldown in between in case you have to, and just allows you to do a lot of basic attack damage. And also very important again, it gives you a boost auto attack every single time, so make sure you weave in your boost auto attacks. It also allows you to just build up Psycho Cut more often. So this build, flame charge and Psycho Cut, can definitely better if the enemies have a lot of tanky characters, a lot of sustain, while Phantom Force, if the enemies are very squishy, will definitely always be the right choice. But honestly, in general, you can't go wrong with choosing either. On level 7, we have 2 choices between Phantom Force and Flame Charge. Phantom Force is definitely the meta build, but Flame Charge is also definitely good. So let's first start with Phantom Force. We go underneath the ground, and then after a second we can emerge, and we do AoE damage and also true damage, which is kind of sad, because it doesn't really matter with Psycho Cut's defensive shred. There's a bit of anti-synergy there, but of course it's just a lot of damage onto an opponent. Then also every single time you hit an opponent, you get cooldown reduction. You can see right here, goes from 9 down to 6 seconds, and if you completely hit nothing, it stays at 9 seconds. So very important, we hit Phantom Force on something. Otherwise, we lose a lot of mobility and a lot of ways to actually live fights. And this also works only against a single target. So if we hit multiple enemies, it doesn't matter. You can see it would still be down to 6 seconds. Now to the coolest part of CERULEDGE, it's Unite move. It has a long of range, and after a short amount of delay, we start dashing to the direction, enemies get stunned, and then they take a crazy amount of damage. But you have to be careful, the enemies can full heal this, and they will not get stunned, and then also not take any damage. So the enemies have to be stunned by it, but they can actually full heal the entire effect. So yeah, very, very strong ultimate, and everyone in this entire part, you know, will get stunned. And that's why eject button can come in handy as well, because you cannot redirect this. So let's play, I miss it right here, or I want to hit multiple enemies. I can eject button towards the left side, and then still hit, and I even hit the Baltoy still, because I eject button so far towards like the bottom right here, that I can hit multiple things. So right here, for example, as well, I can eject button behind blue buff and still hit it. Same like this. We can eject button over, so if we do it like this, we can eject button the final effect over to our opponents and just hit multiple enemies. So this is kind of more stylish, and also in team fights can be more effective, as you can, you know, have a higher chance of hitting your Unite move. But generally, X attack is always fine as well. And then for the plus moves very fast, they're kind of boring. Psycho Cut increases the defense reduction even more. Then Phantom Force Plus is quite important, as it gives us even more cooldown on Phantom Force. Now it has a lower cooldown, you can see it's down to 7 seconds. So if we hit the wrong button right here as well. If we hit our Phantom Force now onto opponents, we have even higher chance of, you know, getting it up even faster, down to 4 seconds. So we save 2 entire seconds on level 13. So very important to at least be level 13 when it comes down towards the final fights. Now for some general tips, you can Phantom Force across multiple voids very, very easily. And very important also to use it this way. What you have to be careful about is boost auto attacks, because they get stuck on voids. For example, right here, if I want to boost auto attack right now, it doesn't really work because it's too far away. If it was a bit closer, it would go over it, but you have to be very careful. Like, if it's a basic attack, but it will not go over the wall if the enemy is too far away. So it's something you have to be very careful about. Otherwise, you can always fly in. There's something happens quite often on this run right here, where like it just it's going through the air. But yeah, it doesn't really go across voids, sadly. You can see it's stuck here as well, so yeah. You can't use it across voids, you will always get stuck on them. So something you have to make sure that you are aware about. Also something that's quite hilarious, so when the enemies take down Rayquaza and you're trying to defend from their shields, right? You have Phantom Force, which does true damage, which means it stops their scoring. But it's actually quite bad sometimes, because if the enemy's shield is too big, then you're not reducing the shield. You're stopping their score just one single time, and then they can just hit the score button again. They took no damage on their shield, and they can instantly score again. So there's a few scenarios. If the enemies have a big shield and you're in a solo situation, don't use Phantom Force. Use Psycho Cut, start basic attacking as fast as possible to get rid of the shield. Is the enemy shield low? Then you can do a Phantom Force to stop it one time, into boost auto attack, and the shield might be gone. Are your teammates around? If your teammates are around, you use Phantom Force, stop it one time, and hope your enemy or your team go for the shield. That's actually quite hilarious to think about, but it's very, very important, as you know, like Rayquaza shields can be stopped a good amount. So you gotta be ready for it, because I've seen scenarios where people stop a Rayquaza shield with Phantom Force, but the shield just didn't get produced at all, and they can instantly just score again. Obviously, CERULEDGE is very good at ripping objectives, right? This one is quite squishy though. But even if you do this, just make sure you use your abilities smartly. So if you're taking down this in a 1v1, use Psycho Cut, boost auto attacks, boost auto attack, a Psycho Cut again is probably going to be up again. I mean, I currently don't have cooldown on, but if I turn it on, just make sure you use it smartly and don't use Phantom Force to necessarily, like if you don't know where the opponents are, right? Don't just press your buttons. Like, don't use Phantom Force if you don't know. There might be a fight about to happen, right? Very, very bad. So just use Psycho Cut, start basic attacking, build up the next Psycho Cut, boost auto attack, Psycho Cut, boost auto attack, build up the next one, boost auto attack again, and then you can see our Psycho Cut's already perfectly up again, and it makes it very smooth to play CERULEDGE. Now let's jump into some gameplay explanations. Jungle clear should be pretty straightforward, right? We just KO all for white Pokemon as fast as possible. Very important, CERULEDGE is just, again, as I said, using all your boosted auto attacks. So make sure you don't waste any, because it's a dash, it does a lot of damage, So make sure we have it. Looking for a dash up right here. This was a bit risky. Enemy CERULEDGE is here too, unluckily, so I have the eject button to safety. Back in toy grass, and the boost auto attack runs out of time, so I'm bidding up right now again by just auto taking air. And then we do a basic attack, right? Psycho cut, basic attack, and we start basic attacking again, another boost auto attack. As I walk away right here, I'm bidding up another boost auto attack just in case more happens, but nothing else happens. So it's very important. I know this seems very easy, right, to pay attention to. It's very important not to use both of your moves at the same time, as you can waste a lot of boosted auto attack, especially in early game, or like in 1v1 fights. You of course want to use it as much as possible. So even here I do boost auto attack first, then psycho cut, boost auto attack again. Can be a bit awkward sometimes, as CERULEDGE needs 3 basic attacks to go into the next thing. So right here I'm just do it instantly instead of doing 2 more basic attacks as we head into the mid-Altaria fight. Again, I go into this toy grass, I build up a boost auto attack just in case anyone is already here or anyone is around. Pick up Phantom Force now. And yeah, it ran out of time, but build another boost auto attack, go forward, psycho cut, boost auto attack, and then Phantom Force, boost auto attack. Now walking to this fight right here, psycho cut from far away, dash forward, use Phantom Force to follow, another boost auto attack, and we take the enemy CERULEDGE down. Can maybe look for this owl right here now. I mean, we can dive him maybe, Phantom Force, right? Look how much damage we do in this early game already. I eject button after him, I get a lucky crit in. But you know, crits are not too lucky because we're running a full crit build, right? And we take him down. So Phantom Force, basic attack, psycho cut, basic attack, and pick up an easy KO here on the enemy attacker. Recalling, just to take my buffs again. Heading towards the buy turret here. I know that the red buff spawns in a second, so I'd rather do red buff into blue buff into bot instead of blue buff, red buff. It just saves me a bit of, you know, travel distance. That's the plan right here. So red into blue into bot lane. And by clearing jungle camps also, just using all your boost auto attacks will save you a lot of time. So you really have to pay attention to it. Again, it seems trivial, but I can guarantee you a lot of you might not be paying attention to it too much. As we start now the bottom objective. Here also very important again, of course, using every boost auto attack. So right here I'm also waiting for this just building up just by basic attacks the one to go out before I use any moves again. And we can maybe look for a break on the skull if you want to do so. But as Phantom Force forward, I see enemies around. And I'm like, yeah, maybe not best idea to stick around. But then the Grinch just walks up and we take him down with the boost auto attack, psycho cut boost auto attack, and he has no chance. Again, looking for boost auto attack first. Into the Phantom Force, we take him down. It's just so strong that the boost auto attack is a dash. And it's just something you always want to make use out of, if you can. So right here again, we dash forward, use Phantom Force, psycho cut, and then we CERULEDGE is getting absolutely gapped. Phantom Force across the wall, even bidding up a boost auto attack by just psycho cutting randomly, also totally fine. Next Altaria spawn is happening in 8 seconds behind me, so I'm already getting ready for it. Got that boost auto attack ready. But now, so you can see it fades away at some point, so it doesn't last forever. Because, I mean, it would be too powerful if it would last forever. Right, that's just how it is. So some boost auto attacks, they do disappear, some stay forever, and some will go. Right here, Phantom Force, boost auto attack, psycho cut, boost auto attack, build up my next boost auto attack. And I also would have used this first before I go into my next set of move rotations. Very important. As we go back to the jungle clear. Fast forward a bit. And I haven't really looked for my first Unite move here, but the Unite move can be quite difficult sometimes. Like, definitely. Very, very difficult. Again, you can always see me building up boost auto attacks. It takes a bit longer on CERULEDGE because he has 3. And here I miss a bit. I'm going to move on to the right here. I tried to eject button combo, but this one I sadly messed up. So you can see the Unite move can be quite difficult there to hit it like optimally. And making use of all the boost auto attacks again. Dashing around. Vigileki goes in. And we break the goal. I haven't really practiced the eject button combo too much yet, because I've been mainly playing X attack, and if you just want to go for X attack, it is one of the best better items for this character, as it just gives you so much burst damage on Unite move and on all your abilities to really get those like one-shots in. Here I'm surrounded by the enemies, and I get stunned quite a long time right here. I was even surprised. We just get taken down by the Sigui. You can see we are still quite squishy. Back alive now, running for the spot fight, but it's already over. So we're just gonna farm more experience. Phantom Force, psycho cut, boost auto attacks, always in between. I'm gonna keep saying this the entire time just to really get it into your brains, that you make sure you don't waste any boosted auto attacks at all. Don't use your 2 moves together unless someone is very low on HP and he's gonna look for the last hit. Here I'm just gonna use for Unite move, last one I can use. chased down the Metagross. Sadly, Trevenant barely got the score out and was able to, you know, score. Obviously, he was able to score. And now we look maybe for a small invade right here, but I gotta be a bit careful. I do have the eject button up and I can use it one more time before Ray, but you know, I'm only level 14. I do, of course, want 15 always, but yeah. Go in the Stalkers right here, build up a boost auto attack. I'm looking for it. Boost auto attack, Phantom Force, boost auto attack, Psycho Cut, boost auto attack. And there we go. We got 3 boost auto attacks out. Our Phantom Force, because it hits someone as well, has lower cooldown. But I'm actually just gonna fight him. I know I can fight him a bit, but then I have the eject button behind my team because then Decidueye decides to go for a Unite move on me at 250. I think he was done with my stuff. And yeah, just recalling. And now I kind of want to get 15. So we're going to try to take everything on the entire map. Also, you can see you can get sometimes stuck on voids with your boost auto attack. Also very important to pay attention to. Boost auto attack, Psycho Cut, boosted auto attack, and some basics to finish it off. And now we get 15. So perfect game until now almost, except for... I mean, I feel like the Unite moves this game have been pretty bad. But then, I think the Unite move of CERULEDGE, I want to just showcase it's not as easy as it maybe looks. Like, it's very powerful, but it's also not the easiest to hit sometimes. Definitely not. So if you miss it sometimes, don't worry too much about it. In general, it's kind of similar to Gardevoir Unite, where you wait too long to use it, when you could just be using it on one person as well, which you can definitely do. Don't try to be too perfect on it. Just look for something for an angle. 2 are down right here. I use the Phantom Force across the wall, and then boost auto attack onto Trevenant, and I'm just going to try to zone them away a bit as we start ripping Ray. Phantom Force, boost auto attack, Psycho boost auto attack, build up the net, boost auto attack, and I'm just going to go for Unite move right here onto the last hit, and that actually gets it perfectly. I was surprised it actually was this perfect. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this guide. If you did, let me know which characters you would like to see next, and I will see you guys in the next Ultimate guide.